Hello everybody and welcome to the Daryl Talks Podcast. Today it is that time of the month where me and Liz get to bitch and scritch about what's going on in our lives, and we're also going to discuss some parenting around the world and see how we feel about those ideas. So without further ado, welcome Liz.
Hello.
How you doing?
Okay, thanks. You?
Yeah, all good, all good. What you may notice in some of these videos is that we are currently in hoodies and pajamas purely because I couldn't be bothered to change, which I usually would do, but we're tired.
So tired, and you're making us do this.
I feel like we start every single episode with I'm tired.
It's because our life starts every day being tired.
Yeah. And also you may notice, I'm not sure whether it'll show up, but I'm currently fashioning a bit of a goatee. How do you feel about that, Liz?
I absolutely hate it.
Why do you hate it?
It's disgusting because it's not even full. It's just...
But it will be.
No, it won't. It won't. You have done this before and it becomes some scraggly puby thing on your face. It's disgusting.
What are you going to do about yours?
I don't have a goatee. I could probably grow a better goatee than you.
That's a very good point.
It's got to go. I hate it.
What about other people with goatees?
No, not attractive. Not attractive.
But would it offend you if somebody came up to you with a goatee?
It wouldn't offend me, no. It offends me that you think you can grow a goatee and have that monstrosity on your face.
Well...
I have to lie next to you at night looking at that.
It's dark.
Even Lyra tells you need to shave.
Anyway, I'm growing it. Don't care.
That's my biggest ick right now. Your face.
I don't think that's just right now, is it?
True.
So what's been happening? What's new? Last time we spoke, you didn't have a job.
Well, let me tell you, I still don't have a job. Still unemployed.
Unemployed. How is unemployed?
No, let me tell you. I was told just yesterday I am a homemaker.
And I said, better than a home wrecker.
That's exactly what you said, yes. I am a homemaker. I make our house a home.
That's very good.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Very good
I
excuse.
don't spend a lot of time here, but I make it a home.
You're actually homeless now you don't have a job.
I know, I've got so much freedom. I mean, the kids would just go out and do things.
I'm glad you're making the most of it.
Yeah, so am I.
Like, I know you're not enjoying the not having a job or an income, but at least for this very short period of time, you are making the most of it.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't like not having a job. I don't like the independence of having my own money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like not being able to, I feel like I need to pay my way into our home and our lives, and I
Just
can't
pay
do that.
in kind. I'll be...
No, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'll go and make chocolate Krispies instead.
Yeah, so nothing's come to fruition yet, has it?
No, but let me tell you. So I reckon I've applied for about 80 jobs.
80?
I reckon, yeah. Somewhere in the region, maybe even more.
How many have you heard back from?
Oh, crumbs. Maybe 20%.
20%, so about like roughly 16 out of 80.
Maybe not even that many.
That's mad.
That's ridiculous.
But didn't one of them say that they had some ridiculous amount?
Yeah, so this is what I was going to say. I had a response from one of the companies just the other day. You know, thanks very much, blah, 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 blah. We've had over 500 applications. 500.
Can you imagine being a recruiter?
Ugh, that is a lot of CVs to get through.
Comic Sans? Nope.
But at what point, how can you stand out in 500, in a pool of 500? How do you stand out on a bit of paper?
Yeah, it's really difficult.
That's what you're up against.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Like, it's almost like a lottery rather than a test.
I did have an interview today, though, and I feel it went quite well. It was quite upbeat.
You sounded, you were really like buzzy when you came in, which is good.
I know, I'm a buzzy kind of person. And I've also got another interview next week, which I'm kind of bricking it about, if I'm perfectly honest, already.
One?
I feel it's very formal.
Right,
So
okay.
the interviews I've had so far, I don't know if it's because they're more localized companies. I don't know. But this one just feels very formal. It's like there's a panel of 4 people going to interview me. And it says a panel of, it's basically a panel of judges.
And you got to stand on an X.
Yeah, I reckon.
What are you applying for? BGT? If you were on Britain's Got Talent, what would you do?
I'm a homemaker. I would make a home.
What?
My
Got
little box.
3 minutes.
I don't know. What would I do? What's my talent? I literally have 0 talent. Oh, you're disgusting.
For those of you not able to see this, I was winking at Liz. Winking.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes.
What would your talent be?
I'd probably just stand there and just start talking.
Yeah.
Something funny would come out.
out.
Yeah. I'd spot something or somebody would ask me something and I'd jump on it. Not literally.
No. Frowned upon.
Yes, very frowned upon.
But yes, I've got an interview next week.
How do you think
serious.
I've been helping you with some of the interview questions and stuff.
Yeah.
I find that I'm actually now please tell me if I'm over-egging it, but I think I'm really good at helping you with
Prepare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
With like little inklings of thoughts and
You
words
are,
and
yeah.
stuff. I didn't know that I was good at that.
You are good at it.
That's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you could be a recruiter.
Could I be a recruiter?
Yeah. You'd have to sift through 500 CVs. But yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I was going to say I want to do interviews, but then I kind of do that.
No, literally. That's what this hobby is right now.
It would be cool to do it for jobs, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You've done it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So.
The people that you meet are, well, incredible, some of them. Some not so much.
I might struggle to stay professional in them.
Yeah, but
All
I never did.
circumstances.
There's an element of obviously professionalism in it, but in order to see the true person, you need to calm the situation.
Yeah. Get like a bit of, we could do it together. Good cop, bad cop.
Which one would I be?
Bad cop.
Oh,
I mean, I could play bad cop, but I'm not sure I'd be taken seriously.
no, I don't think you would be. Yeah.
Answer the goddamn question. Sorry, I
Yeah,
touched you.
you did touch me. Don't do that again.
It's not a porno.
Already got 2 children. Thank you.
But yeah, so that's a skill of mine that I didn't think I had. But I think it's because I've been so bad at interviews in the past that I've spent the rest of my life trying to get better at interviews.
It's funny, really, because you haven't had a lot of interviews.
No, I haven't.
You just had like 1 or 2 bad interviews,
Yes.
and that's it. And that's kind of like tainted you for life.
Yeah, really, honestly, it's like a scar. So, like, most of the podcasts I listen to are to do with talking. And that's not for the podcast. It's just, like, more because I was so bad at it. And I used to get really nervous around certain people.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I'm the opposite of that. And, like, all the authoritative people, I go out of my way to be, like, not over the top, but you know what I mean, like...
You are a bit over the top.
Yeah. So, for example, managing director was down for a visit recently,
Yeah.
and I had previously had a one-to-one on Teams with him, and everybody's a bit like, you know, sit up straight,
Don't talk. Don't make
Yeah.
eye contact.
and so he's walking around with his like cronies.
Posse.
Yeah, very nice gentleman. Want to keep my job just in case he's an avid fan. As he comes to me, he said, "Oh, Daryl, we've met." I said, "Yeah, you are so much better looking in real life."
Oh my.
And he
Of
just,
course you did.
like loved it. He loved the fact that,
You just beamed.
yeah. And I know people say that sort of thing, but it was a joint like taking the piss and an icebreaker for him. You
For
know?
him, not for you.
Yeah, well, because I'm cool as a cucumber.
You know what? I wonder if like people in those sort of hierarchy positions do get nervous about those sorts of things.
Well, yeah, because they do a lot of things that piss a lot of people off.
This is what I mean. You don't know what you're coming up against when you go into meet the teams.
Yeah, there's always that one person in the office, sometimes a few people in the office who are like, I've been waiting for this moment for 10 years.
Yeah, this is
you
my
are
moment.
having it. And yeah, I guess
that confrontation would be hideous.
But a person in that position surely must have a little bit of training in that.
God, yeah.
They're paid a lot of money to be in that position.
Yeah, absolutely. They are good decision makers, apparently.
Well, yeah, they must be.
Gotta be. Gotta say something, right?
Yeah.
Imagine going for that interview. Flipping heck.
See, that's the thing. I'm really good at talking shit.
There's just no
substance to what I say. I could talk to somebody about the weather, how their family, and ask all the questions in the world. But if they ask me something about my job, God knows. God knows what will come out.
I dread to think.
Deflection would probably happen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what isn't gravel.
Funny.
I know, I am really funny. Yeah, so you've had a few interviews.
I have.
It's gone pretty well.
Well, I haven't got a job, so not that bloody well.
That's such a shit point. I'm glad we can laugh about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because
I either laugh or cry.
Yeah.
Not much of a crier.
Yeah. Because I feel like last time it was quite fresh, wasn't it? The like almost daunting bit of right.
And also, like, it was such a shit show last time I went for interviews, wasn't it? I don't know what I get so nervous about, really, in advance.
You shouldn't.
Because when I actually am there or on the phone or whatever, I go into, like, overdrive professionalism. I know the answer of absolutely everything. I know what you're going to ask me.
That's preparation, though.
Yeah.
So if anybody's looking for any interview techniques, wants to go through questions, I do offer a service. But I don't need a job.
Yeah, the bum in the corner needs a job.
No, it'll be all right. Children, what's been happening?
Jackson has started nursery 2 days a week.
That was an emotional day, wasn't it?
It nearly broke me, actually.
So it was bad enough dropping him off because it's just like the start of something.
You just leave him at the door as well. Like, they come to the door and you hand your child over to basically another child because, you know, we're so old and everyone's a child.
I will say it though. I like those people that work there are just lovely.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they love the children.
Yeah, and the kids love them. And you can see that.
And you couldn't ask for any more from them.
No. But yeah, so we dropped Jackson off. Lyra came, didn't she? She came and dropped Jackson off with us.
So she did some haggling, didn't she?
Yes.
She was basically like, well, how about this? And she laid out a 10-page proposal. And she said, what about we, as a three, drop Jackson off. And then I go to nursery. And then you pick me up first. And then we go and pick up Jackson.
That's exactly what we did.
And end of the day, the worst thing happened. And this was by no part the girl's fault. However, her choice of words weren't perfect.
Oh my God, I'd forgotten about this. I was thinking, where is this story going?
So I finished work, shoes on, we are going up to collect our children.
Out the door, yeah.
And it was really nice for me to be able to do that because most of the time it's...
Well, you're normally in the office, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It just happened that day you were home working.
So we go there and we're buzzing. It was like Christmas morning for a 6-year-old for us, wasn't it? We were like, quick,
oh my God, quick, go and get the kids.
Yeah. And we go to the place to pick up Lyra as promised. And so we go to her door and the lovely girl comes out. And what did she say?
She said, oh, Lyra's not here.
And we looked at each other.
And there was like, it felt like 10 minutes of silence. It was only realistically about 3 seconds.
Yeah. And we were like, well, where is our child?
So I'm like, well, where is she? Because the way it sounded
Just that somebody had taken her.
that somebody had picked her up already. It's like, well, we're both here.
Yeah, so there was this.
Oh my God, it was awful.
This moment lasted 3 seconds, but genuinely, our lives turned upside down. And,
Gosh, yeah.
but it wasn't much better because our little girl, my little princess, was up in the preschool room
Yeah.
as opposed to the toddler room. And then they tell us that this is happening in May. It's a permanent thing, and she was up there for the day.
So Lyra was having a taster session in the preschool room, in the preschool area, which we got told about as we picked her up. Then she wasn't there. And she's going to be moving at the beginning of May up to preschool, which I don't like that. Nope.
And
She should still probably be in the baby room, actually.
And the first thing you did was you looked at the schedule, which was on the wall opposite. You were like,
In preschool, yeah.
And you were like, there's no nap time there.
When are they going to nap?
Which I thought would have been my sentence.
Lara enjoys her afternoon nap.
So does Daddy.
Yeah, you do. That's true. But no nap time.
And she just waltzed out like...
Right, so yeah, she's like, oh, Mummy and Daddy are here. I'll just, get my bag and my coat and off we trot.
Yeah, she drove home.
Basically. Well, then we went and got Jackson, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they were both buzzing.
Yeah.
I was still trying to get over the shock of Lyra not being where she should have been.
And it is true what they say. It goes so quickly. But it also seems like it's been forever.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? So it seems like she's been at nursery forever. Jackson's been with us forever.
I know.
And yet it's also gone in the blink of an eye.
Well, in July, Lyra would have been in nursery for 2 years.
Yeah, that's mad.
Think how much money we have ploughed into that nursery in 2 years.
Well, we've covered at least one salary, haven't we?
I'm absolutely 100% sure of that. Yeah. Crumbs.
Yeah. And also that means that Jackson is also coming up to be 1 whole year.
My goodness, our little boy is nearly 1. So he'll be 10 months old at the end of the month, won't he?
Yeah.
And I mean, how did we get to March to start with? Where did that time go? Yeah, he's going to be 1. We're going to have to start planning his birthday party. Balloon arch. What colours are we going to do?
Oh my God.
Is it going to be blues? Is it going to be greens? Could do orange. Who knows?
Do a Daryl Talks one.
We could do green and have like a foresty jungle theme.
Yeah.
Could have a jungle theme.
Because our son loves jungles, does he?
Yes.
And we could do it malted milk theme.
Beige.
Everything beige.
Beige buffet. Beige balloons.
Magnolia.
Yeah, paint every wall beige.
No, but they love him up there, don't they?
Oh, they do. Do you know what? He is such a smiley little boy.
He really is.
And it doesn't like you could be a complete stranger. But he's got no sense of stranger danger right now. Anybody could just talk to him and he is beaming.
Whereas Lyra, she's anyone but you.
Yeah, no, nobody is allowed to talk to Lyra. And she will give them the dirtiest
Oh,
look.
it is. Oh, it's seething.
I love
There's
it.
pure hatred in those eyes.
I absolutely love the sassiness of her.
Your sister said something really interesting, didn't she, the other day about Jackson?
Did she really? What would that be?
She said how similar he is to me.
Oh, yes. Yeah, what did she say? She said, oh, God, what did she say?
So this is Sister Charlotte, who will be on the podcast at some point.
What did she say? She said something like, you can tell he's Daryl's son because not only does he absolutely look 100% like Daryl, but he also expresses himself the same way in that if Jackson is happy, he is laughing and smiling and he's beaming like his dad. Like you, that's what you do. You laugh and you smile and whatever. But if Jackson is unhappy, he is savage, just like his dad.
I thought you were going to say crying.
Crying in the corner.
Crying, hungry and needs burping.
Yeah. I thought, yeah, that's actually very true. He's very, very much you, isn't he?
Yeah, but I hadn't really put that together.
No.
I put Lyra's facial expressions with mine though, because
It's
I'm
because
very expressive.
you are, but a lot of people, like your mum says it all the time. She's like, oh, that's a Liz look.
Yeah,
I'm like, well,
only the frowns.
I don't frown though.
Botox in it.
I can't frown.
Can you not?
Yeah, no, I can. I choose not to.
Why do you go cross-eyed when you frown?
I feel like that's how you frown. I feel like you've got to try and look at the
So up until last week, there really had been no healthiness, fitness whatsoever in this household.
Correct.
But then you turned it on.
Turn it on. Yep.
Ish.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I've had quite a good week, food-wise. When I mean I've had a good week, I've eaten really well. Snacks.
But what is your weird addiction to those mini egg cakes? Now, mini eggs have been brought up before. However, I did do a video of finding hidden mini eggs.
They're not hidden. They're just not at the forefront of the cupboard. They're at the back.
Right, okay, underneath
So Lyra
pots and
doesn't touch
pans.
them.
But you really do, you cannot help yourself buying these mini egg nest cakes.
They're delicious. I'm absolutely gutted that we ain't got any this evening, actually.
I'm sorry to hear that. However, we are on a budget.
Some of us don't have a job.
Exactly. So those unnecessary purchases.
Just because you think it's unnecessary doesn't mean it is. Right. The thing with the mini egg... Well, mini
We've
eggs...
got no bread.
We've got no bread, but we've got a mini egg cake in the cupboard.
Do you want toast? No, no children.
You have to have a slice of cake instead. Good morning. That's actually so true. The thing with the mini egg cakes and mini eggs in general is they're only available for such a short period of time.
At a time. From Christmas Eve.
Yeah. But you don't start eating them really until middle of January, really. By the time you get through all your Christmas food.
Yeah.
So you've only got from the middle of January up until April.
But you haven't made any mini egg cookies yet.
Right, now I'll tell you for why. Daniel very generously brought me a kilo bag of mini eggs.
This is friend Daniel.
Soon to be brother-in-law Daniel.
Soon to be brother-in-law. Best man.
Anyway, Daniel brought me a kilo bag of mini eggs and I don't want to open them and I would use them to make the cookies. And the reason I don't want to open them is because, and the real reason I don't want to open them is because you and Beck, every time you're in the house and for whatever reason, Beck is opening our cupboards, you walk past and think, oh, there's mini eggs in there, and you take a handful out. So I don't end up with any of them.
Any. I don't have any.
Very few.
A whole kilogram's
mini
worth.
eggs. I get a couple of handfuls, and you pair have eaten 800 grams of it.
I wonder if we can manage to sneak in mini eggs into like every episode this year.
Easily. I'm going to see how long I can keep that bag of kilo eggs
The
for.
bag of kilo.
That kilo
We
bag
love
of
a
eggs
bag
for.
of kilo.
I'm going to see how long I can keep the bag for.
Fair enough. Yeah. So besides the nest cakes, the mini eggs, you've somehow managed a loss.
I've had a good loss this week. But I think it's because I contribute it to the 2 massive hikes I took Barry on.
Yeah, poor Barry. He wasn't happy, was he? He wasn't happy, puppy.
He wasn't overly impressed. So day 1 was 5 miles. And
We're talking about a massive hike. There's probably some people listening who are thinking like, what was it, like 30?
No, but for Barry, to be fair, he does double or triple that.
Yeah.
Because he's off the lead and he's running to and from and in and out and everything else. But so the day 1, and he came home after day 1 and was like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Well, then day 2, we did 7.5, and he literally was getting to the point, we were almost home, and he was just dragging his feet, was like, I'm done. Why are you still out walking, woman? Like, for God's sake, take me home. Carry me if you must. He was savage with me.
It is amazing and so simple how just getting your steps in does so much.
Well, the good thing was day 2, when I did that long one, that really long one, I didn't have to walk the next day because I'd done double my steps. I could just sit down all day and do nothing.
I had to wait on you hand and foot.
If only, yeah. I've only got little legs. I do double the steps you do every day anyway.
And half the mileage.
And half the mileage. Yeah.
I can have like a day where I'm like, me and Liz would have walked exactly the same. We've been done a little 5-miler. Liz is on 400,000 steps because she's a pigeon apparently, and I'm there with like 1,500, like a giant. So I don't know whether I've got to stomp better.
You do take abnormally long
Or
strides.
do I just glide?
Glide.
I'm like moonwalking.
You're like a swan. Agile peacock.
But yeah, and I've also made a loss this week. In 4 days, actually.
In 4 days, you have.
And I think that's the aftermath of last week. So listeners, I don't know if you are aware, but I play rugby now.
Oh, here we go.
Rugby lad, top rugby lad, 39th top try scorer for Saltash RFC.
39th. That's funny.
Do you know what the truth is? That's not even true. It's probably less. I'm probably higher up the chain, but doesn't matter. That's not going in. So part of being a rugby player means you've got to play rugby. And
I have heard that, actually.
Yeah. So obviously I broke my ribs, whatever it was, before Christmas, and then wasn't able to play. I then got really busy at the start of the year recording, so missed training. So I put my hand up to say I was available, and they were like, no, you haven't trained, which is good because it means that the squad is deep enough that they don't need a 35-year-old fat boy winger.
You said it.
But I started going training eventually and started getting on the team sheet again. Big boy, no one calls me. And it's just so happened that we had 3 matches in 7 days. And all 3 of those matches were against very good teams. So although I didn't participate and have a lot of action, it was so good to be part of that. The first match was against top of the league, already been promoted, and we really stuck it up 'em.
It was a good match, actually.
You came to watch, didn't you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And
Lyra loved it.
Lyra did love it.
Element.
Yeah. And it was just, I don't know, it's the reason you fall in love with rugby, because I got to play with my good friend Lewis Wells. He was there. He stood in, and unfortunately I didn't get to play with Mazza, the captain of Saltash, because I got benched and they upgraded to him the second half. So yeah, I'm not holding a grudge.
Not at all.
But you know, you're on a podcast now. Yes, that was amazing. And then midweek, under the lights, we had a match where I would say maybe 4 or 5 players were Saltash lads.
On the other team?
On the other team.
I was going to say, you'd think a few of the Saltash team were from Saltash.
Yeah. But we had, it was just epic. The whole thing. So we're at a random pitch, trying to paint the picture here, where the opposing team, so it's Plymouth sides and we're from Cornwall. The whole of the Plymouth team whose pitch we were on came to watch the match, and it's a cup match. But we really, really wanted to do well.
Stick it to him.
And my Lord, I think there was 5 yellow cards, 1 red card. Not for it wasn't particularly punchy, but there were some really dirty plays, and the whole crowd were against us. And then right at the last minute, we scored a penalty and won the game. And then that team, the team that had been giving us shit all evening, suddenly turned around and started cheering for us like they'd been cheering for us the whole time.
That's funny.
Yeah. And
was it like the World Cup moment when Johnny Wilkinson stepped back.
It
and
wasn't quite as good as
kicked it
that.
over. It was like,
Now, it wasn't quite as good as that. However, it was a very special moment because Lewis, who had missed the prior penalty,
oh, he
he
got
made it.
That's
And then
amazing.
that took us over. So it was great. It was such a good feeling.
So that was match
So
2.
that was Wednesday, and then went to training on Thursday, and I'm aching.
That's all I heard about. Bitching and
I am
scratching.
aching, but luckily it was quite like a light-hearted sort of bit of a muck around and loosen the legs a little bit. And then Saturday we had another cup match.
Oh, was it a cup match?
Yeah, against the team that stuck it up us about 75-10 when we went down to them, and they were up the shed. They've got some players who are very high league, and we were so close. But to winning. We did lose, rightly so, but we proper scared them, I think. And I had a couple of moments where age, fitness, and general aesthetics were affected. So before the match, I get out my boots, and one of the lads were like, "When did you get those?" And I was like, he goes, "Are they the F50s or something? Because they're like 2008. I was like,
Vintage.
"No, these are the F10s. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know what age those are." And I said, "Well, I've had them since I was about 16, maybe longer." To which he said, "Your boots are probably older than me."
Wow.
Yep. And
That means they're a good set of boots because they've lasted.
that day, my boots were so sad and felt so old that they decided to disintegrate.
They did.
And I spent the second sort of 20-25 minutes without any studs or anything on the bottom of my
Yeah, like the
boot.
bottom of it just came away, didn't
Yeah.
it? Just in one big strip.
So that happened.
Yeah.
Also, a lovely, lovely person, Thomas Rickson, no names being mentioned here, shouted out to me because he wasn't playing. He was there watching, supporting, I thought. He shouts, "Lummy, you look exactly the same as you did when you were 18 until you turned sideways."
There.
And I thought I was quite quick-witted because I shouted back, "Yes, my nose has got bigger."
Ooh.
But yeah, that was kind of, it was good. It was brilliant.
Bit of a kick in the gonads.
It was a bit of a kick in the gonads. And then I went home and nearly died.
No, what about the hooker thing?
Oh, yep, that wasn't good. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's another really good story. So I am a winger. For those of you who don't know what a winger is probably one of the leanest people on the pitch, one of the quickest people on the pitch, generally just like the whippet, because they've got they're the 100-meter sprinters of the rugby team, and I'm a winger. So when the ball gets kicked out, the winger has to chase the ball and mark where it went out so as the other team cannot quickly throw it back in again. So the ball went out and the opposing team got the ball and then shouted, "Oi, hooker." Now a hooker, for those of you who don't know, is generally speaking the shortest person on the pitch, the widest person on the pitch, the heaviest person on the pitch. And in our sort of general, it's not always the case, but predominantly, if you think of a hooker in rugby, you picture a guy with no neck, carrying carpets, and several chins. However, that has changed slightly. And so I got confused for a hooker.
That was also highly entertaining.
Yep, to which the linesman even got involved.
Yeah, he told me about it.
Yep, that made his life.
Yeah, he enjoyed that little story.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a bit of an ego busting thing. So I decided, right, I need to crack on, need to eat better and get my steps in as a minimum. And it's worked. Also, been feeling quite nauseous because of some sort of bug. And that's also helped because I haven't eaten.
Yeah, so you've done quite well this week.
Yeah. Well, both of us have.
Absolutely.
Well done. So before we move on to the next bit, we have got my 1 year of podcasting coming up. Can you believe it's been a year?
No, I actually can't.
Yeah.
Because, and I think we've talked about this before, I genuinely didn't think you would still be doing this a year on.
No, that'll be like 52 episodes, that'll be.
That's a lot of people.
Currently, this will be the 46th, 47th, if you include the one that I took out.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, guys, if you do have any ideas...
What sort of thing do you want to do?
I don't know. It'd be nice to do something, though.
Like with guests or on
know.
your own, or...
I don't have a clue.
You'd prefer to do with people, though, I guess, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. Guys, if you've got any ideas on what I could do for the 1 year, the first anniversary of the Daryl Talks podcast, please pop me a message, send me an email, whatever. That'd be really great. So let's go on to the next bit.
Okay.
So I have been doing a little bit of research and I thought it'd be funny to go through some weird parenting habits or rituals from traditions from around the world. So, first one, in Greece, they throw children into the ocean for good luck.
Throw children into the ocean?
Yep.
At what age?
This one doesn't say.
Just launch them.
I guess so.
Off you go. Flipping out, they can swim. For good luck.
Apparently it's for good luck.
Sounds terribly dangerous.
In Germany and Belgium, they let toddlers drink beer. It's called Kinderbeer.
Kinderbeer. Is it alcoholic?
It's like a weak form of beer.
What? But what is that achieving by doing that?
Kinderbeer. We have Kinder eggs. What's that achieving?
It's bloody chocolate. That's a little bit different.
How?
I actually don't know. Alcohol is not appropriate for a toddler.
Neither sugar.
In moderation. They could get hooked on the alcohol.
They could get hooked on chocolate.
No.
Some people never grow out of that.
That's a myth.
Kinderbeer. Fantastic. I remember having like a shandy.
No, I still don't think that's appropriate.
So they would put like that much beer in it and then top it up with lemonade.
No, not appropriate. Also, beer just tastes rank. What toddler is going to like beer?
German toddler. Belgium. That's the best one so far, and I've only said 2.
Fair.
Ooh, you're not going to like this one. Sleeping in the same bed until school age in Japan and Latin America.
No, they can shove off.
Till they were 7 or 8.
Oh my God. No, thank you.
And they specifically share a bed with the mother rather than the father.
Oh, of course they do. He gets off scot-free. Absolutely not. 100% hate that.
I'd be okay with it.
Oh yeah, you get your own bed, happy days. But why? Why do they do that? Sleeping with children next to you is the worst form of sleep I've ever encountered. And I slept on Lyra's bedroom floor for 3 hours the other night.
Right. There is a counter argument here.
Please.
Nothing to do with the mother's sleeping or the parents sleeping. But if a child feels comfortable and safe, they will sleep better.
Yeah, no, I get all that.
So
I couldn't give a shit. Get comfortable and feel safe in your own bed. You're not going to be sleeping in my bed for life, so get used to it now. Crack on.
let's just be, it is okay.
Absolutely. And if that's what people want to do, on them, but not for me.
Right.
Absolutely not.
I'm glad we clarified that, because you just sounded bitchily opinionated then.
No, you do you.
Letting kids play in the dirt.
Yeah, that's all right. Where's this?
Parents in Finland and Estonia encourage their kids to play in the dirt, believing that exposure to germs helps build a strong immune system.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Finnish and Estonian, they're strong boys, aren't they?
Yeah. Maybe I'm a bit Finnish or Estonian-ish.
I don't know.
I'm all for playing in the mud. Go for it. Eat a slug? Yeah, go on. You'll be fine.
Right, here goes. Shaving babies' heads
Right, that's just not okay
in India and China.
on any level. Why?
This is believed to purify the child, remove bad energy, and promote healthier hair growth.
I'm not being funny. Imagine if Beck did that with Joey when he was born. He looked like a little ape when he was born to start with. Imagine how much flipping hair he'd have now. He's the hairiest 3-year-old I've ever seen in my life. Imagine if they shaved his hair off. How much thicker that hair would have grown back.
How odd his back would look.
I mean, Joey had his first haircut at, like, I don't know, 6 months old or something.
Yeah, he did.
Like, full-blown haircut. So completely shave it off?
What I don't understand is these people that like, these people that believe, why is energy in the top of the head?
Yeah, where's that come from? Also, how do you get a baby to stay comfortable enough whilst you're doing that?
Vices.
Clamp them.
Headlock. It's like shaving a sheep.
Shearing a sheep.
They got the
Shaving a sheep, you
All right, farm girl.
I know my sheep.
You almost pulled one out of cow's ass.
Oh, do one.
Piercing baby boys' ears.
Baby boys' ears.
Yep, in Spain and Latin America.
For what reason? They just do.
They just do.
So what, all baby boys?
No, I don't think it's all.
Oh.
I think it's very common.
Interesting.
Are you going to get Jackson's ear pierced?
Are we heck?
Yeah, because what happens if you do the wrong ear?
It's not even that.
Like, I'm not about choosing his lifestyle for him. If he wants to get his ear pierced when he's older.
When he's 18, absolutely. If he wants to get his ears pierced, crack on. Before that, absolutely not.
What about Lyra?
She'd have to wait quite a long time as well.
Oh, but there is a difference.
There is a difference. But there'll be certain things that Lyra can't do that Jackson will be allowed to do.
What like?
I don't know.
Go
right
out.
Now. Go out. Lyra is never leaving her room.
I'm on board with that. Teaching kids not to cry. Inuit communities in Canada and Greenland. So in some Inuit cultures, parents train their children not to cry by using calm and patient methods rather than punishment. They believe crying is unnecessary and encourages kids to regulate their emotions from a young age.
No, have a cry. Nothing better sometimes than just sitting, watching a really emotional film so you can have a good cry. You let it all out. It's okay to cry. In my opinion, it's okay to cry. Boys, girls, anybody.
Here you go. Newborn isolation in Malaysia. New mothers and their babies go through a confinement period called pantang.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Where they stay indoors for 30 to 40 days.
Yeah.
It's believed to help both mother and child recover and bond.
Yeah, I'd love to have done that.
That's actually not a bad...
I think it's a fantastic idea.
I mean, I would have been beside myself.
Yeah, you couldn't wait for people to meet our children.
Yeah.
Whereas no. Lock the door. Don't want to see you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I would have been all over that.
In Germany, they leave kids home alone at a young age.
How young is young?
It doesn't actually say, and that's kind of annoying.
I don't know how I feel about that. At a young age, I would say that it would mean under the age of 10.
I mean, we tried it in Portugal, and that didn't go very well, did it?
That did not go very well.
No.
No, that's a big fat no from me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. Like, solo subway rides in Japan. It's common to see very young Japanese children as young as 5 or 6 commuting alone on public transportation. Independence is highly valued and children are taught self-reliance early.
No.
I mean, it must just be the most trustworthy country, or they literally don't give a shit about their children. One or the other.
6, they're so young. What is wrong with being there for your child? Taking them places.
Yeah.
Holding their hand to cross the road. Like, what is wrong with that?
It's a different culture though, isn't it?
I understand the independence thing because I'm all for being independent absolutely. But that is very young. There's other ways you can surely teach your children to be independent without slinging them on the subway. Go fend for yourself. Like, where are they going when they get on the subway?
Well, if they're not on the subway in Japan, they're letting their children play with knives.
Knives.
Japanese children are
Just gets
encouraged.
better.
Japanese children are encouraged to use knives at a much younger age than Western countries. The idea is that early exposure helps them develop responsibility and skills.
Yeah, it also teaches serial killers how to use their weapon of choice.
I've just found the weirdest one.
Well, because those two aren't weird.
Oh no, there's two. There's two more. Both are.
Hang on the knife thing.
Yeah.
So Lyra helps me prepare meals, doesn't she? She sits on the kitchen side and she helps me peel the flipping carrots, and half the time tries to peel my fingers off, and she helps me cut potatoes, but she doesn't hold the knife. I hold the knife and she'll like push my hand because we're cutting potatoes, because I wouldn't allow Lyra to hold a knife. Like, she knows she's not allowed to touch it because it's dangerous, and she tells me it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But there will become a time as she gets older and understands more that she will obviously touch knives.
Yeah.
But for now, I don't feel...
They just go that one step further, don't they? In Japan.
It just puts the fear of God into me. What if she hurt herself?
Or she'd learn not to do it again.
But she wouldn't. She wouldn't learn not to do it again because she's so young.
Fair enough. That's your opinion.
That is.
Right. I don't know which one to do next. So, in Kenya and the Maasai tribe, spitting on babies for protection.
Fucking hell.
It brings good fortune. Parents and elders may spit on newborns' heads and feet as a blessing.
Heads and feet.
Can you imagine doing that in the hospital?
I got a good in here. Oh, that. I mean, that's not for me. Not my kind of introduction to the world, but there we go. Wow.
Yep. And so we're going to go finally
Yep.
in China and Mongolia. In China and Mongolia, they do a thing called delayed diapering, or we would say delayed nappying. Instead of using nappies, some Chinese and Mongolian parents use split crotch pants and train babies to go on command by whistling.
Whistling.
It's an early potty training method that seems strange to outsiders, but is widely practiced.
Seems strange to outsiders. It seems Barney. That's what it seems. Whistling at children is. I don't feel that's acceptable. I don't feel whistling at anybody is acceptable.
Of all the things about that sentence, split crotch pants.
Well, that's just pants without a crotch, isn't it? Crotchless panties. They sell them, that's,
Not for children.
Well, apparently they do.
It's
yes.
frowned upon in our culture. Very frowned upon.
I'm not big on the whistling thing, particularly on the whistling thing. I mean, each to their own. If you want to potty train your child at 3 days old, then, crack on. They can't hold their own flipping head up, but yeah, let's whistle at them and see where they're going to wee. Lovely. Why is it there's nothing UK based? What do the UK do? Nothing. We've got no little traditions. I can't think of anything that we did with either Lyra or Jackson.
Oh yeah, there are some weird old ones though. Like they used to give the mothers Guinness.
Oh yeah.
For the iron.
Iron. Yeah, I mean it is full of iron. So.
And no daddies in the delivery room.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing, wasn't it? Because it was women's work.
Yeah. In a 1928 manual, one expert at the time advised parents never hug and kiss children. Never let them sit on your lap. If you must, kiss them once on the forehead when they say goodnight. Shake hands with them in the morning.
Shake hands with them.
Today, that's really funny.
Shake hands with them. Good morning, child. No, I don't like that.
No.
I shake Lyra's hand. She laughs at me.
Is there anything else you want to close on?
Not that I can think of. It's been a random chat.
Yeah.
As always.
Guys, I really, really hope you enjoyed that. Really appreciate you listening. For now, cheers.